Hi, welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle, and for this practice, you will want to have two blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a bolster or pillow. Let's start in any comfortable seat of your choice. You may like to prop your pelvis up on any of your props in which you sit towards the front edge of, allowing you more ability to open up the thighs if you're sitting cross-legged and to sit tall and relaxed. So I love that in the wild, I learned this from a documentary about trees. In the wild, there is a mother tree, and that mother tree is one that is pretty much thriving. And because of her thriving, she naturally reaches underground with her roots to identify any other plants and trees that are not thriving, that might be undernourished, and she sends nutrients to those other trees. And it's just a natural, basically having her cup filled, letting her thriving overflow so that it's a collective thriving. I love how nature just teaches us how to be as humans. And it's a great reminder that we need to consciously take care of ourselves regularly. Our practice is meant to be a regular practice in that we are wholeheartedly attending to our own healing and thriving and taking responsibility for it. So that from that place, naturally, our inner being enables us to be inspired to give with a sense of overflow, with a love in the giving. When we're not taking care of ourselves on a regular basis and we're depleted or we're feeling a void of some kind, then it's natural to want to fill that void with other things or from other people. And in that way, not only are we unable to give of ourselves or to share thriving, but then we become codependent or taking away from others' energy. So it's such a huge responsibility, this practice of conscious self-care. And when I say conscious, it means the kind of self-care that takes care of not only the physical body, but our mental state, our spiritual being. And it's done with sincerity. And sometimes it means taking a look at uncomfortable things within ourselves, within our habits and our inner world, and really doing the due diligence to make amends, to learn how to forgive and allow our hearts to expand rather than constrict, or to have a healthy discipline in which we're devoted to committing eating healthy and regularly exercising, whatever it is that contributes to your genuine thriving. So showing up today, thank you. Thank you because you're taking care of yourself, ripples out in our inevitable interconnectedness. And so with that, let's begin by checking in with what's on your plate. As you're sitting still, maybe close the eyes and bring your attention to your physical body, scanning mentally throughout the sensations you're feeling. Sensing the way your body is communicating its needs to you for this practice. Bring your awareness to the breath, just letting it flow naturally. In the qualities of your breathing, notice how you're feeling energetically. Aiming to bring balance to your energy, what would that look like in the way you approach your practice today? Bring your awareness to your mind and sense its energy, observing what you have been attending to mentally, and holding space for any present emotions. Begin to breathe in a little slower as you root into the surface below your body. Exhale deeply through the mouth as you rise tall through your crown. Inhale a little bit slower. Exhale just as slowly. A few more times, breathing in through the nose and out through the lips as you consciously lengthen your breath. I invite you to notice anything in this present moment that you feel appreciation for. Through the lens of gratitude, clarify an intention for your practice. Is there a particular feeling tone or quality you would like to strengthen and embody? As a way to broaden our perspective and remember our interconnection, I invite you now to choose someone to dedicate today's practice to. Sending out our intentions and dedications while we create resonance together. Let's join our voices in chanting Om 3 times. Now I invite you to continue breathing with your lips closed. So just through the nose, if that's available for you. We're going to begin a practice called Bhastrika Pranayama, or bellows breath. It's a breathing technique that helps to uplift your energy while calming the mind and bringing clarity. It also helps to cleanse and enliven the lungs. So you might place your hands along the bottom left and right walls of your rib cage. As you breathe in, fully expand your belly and the 4 walls of your ribs. As you breathe out, clear it to empty through the nose. With equal power, inhale fully, exhale deeply. Now you can continue at a slow pace if that works for you. Otherwise, bellows breath is meant to be rather brisk, finding a steady, brisk rhythm that you can sustain as we practice it for 1 minute. If you need to start and stop, it's okay. But if you can find a rhythm that you can maintain, see if that works for you. So you can keep your hands here, especially if you're new to it, to pay attention to how you're using your diaphragm. You want to fully use that. Or if you got that down, you can add a physical action, which will also warm up the shoulders, a kriya in which you bend your elbows apart to the height of your relaxed shoulders and fist your hands. As you inhale, you straighten the arms, spread the fingers, and as you exhale, you rebend your elbows and refist the hands like this. So take your choice with the arms and prepare to begin for 1 minute of bellows breath. Ready? Go. About 25 seconds left. Now relax, breathe naturally, and notice anything that you're feeling. As you continue to breathe through the nose, begin to lengthen your breath slowly and evenly in and out. And we'll start the practice called Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing, which helps to calm the nervous system while focusing and calming the mind and body. This will help us to balance our energies. We start to move through our asanas. So create a soft whispering sound as you breathe through the nose by gently narrowing or softly constricting the back of the throat. Listen to that sound and take your time to reach the very top of the in-breath and the very bottom of the out-breath, inviting as much space between both ends of the breath as possible without straining. Use that sound as an anchor for your mind, like you would use in meditation, something to steady your attention on that is happening in the present moment. So that if you lose sight of that sound, you can remind yourself to come back and re-regulate your energy by regulating the breath. So keep it going, and let's make our way down onto hands and knees. Today in our physical practice, we had a request to focus a bit on releasing tension along the lower back, the glutes, the hips, and even the calves. So we're going to continue with that. Let's start to warm up the back and the rest of the spine here in cat-cow. So as you spread your fingers flat at the top of your mat, stack your shoulders on top of your wrists and step your knees a couple of inches behind your hips. Now go as slowly as the in-breath, gliding your chest forward and coiling it up. Roll the shoulders down, cow pose. As you exhale, contract your abdomen, drop your head slowly and round the back, cat pose. Again, inhale forward, slowly into cow. Exhale, contract the belly, rounding to cat. On your own, keep going another 3 to 5 cycles of breath. Cat, cow pose, or in Sanskrit, Bitalasana. Listening to the sound waves of your breath. At the very end of your next exhalation, bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch and sink your hips all the way back to your heels, stretching the arms actively forward as you bow your forehead to the ground. Extended child's pose, Balasana. Now here, as we actively lengthen the back, reach your fingertips forward, draw your shoulders and hips back, and lengthen the crown of your head forward. So you feel the spine lengthening in both directions. How is your breathing here? Now keeping your heart and head close to the earth, begin to crawl your hands over to your right side as far as you can reach to stretch the left side of your lower back and torso. Some of you might explore stepping your left palm on top of your right. As you keep resting the head down, draw your left outer hip back towards the left heel and invite the breath to deepen into the left wall of your rib cage for about 3 or more breaths. So this is a lateral extension of your spine, also called a side bend. Notice any sensations you feel here. Then begin to crawl your hands again through center. Keep your hips down towards your heels. And then reach over to your left side. If you did so on the first side, you might similarly step the right palm on top of the left. Breathing a little deeper into the right wall of your rib cage. At least 3 more slow breaths. Then crawl your hands forward again. Take a long breath as you stretch through the center line of your mat. And with your next in-breath, separate the feet hips width apart, tuck your toes, and lift your hips high and back, entering a moving downward facing dog. Moving any way that your body is asking you to. You might further side bend and open up the lower back on the sides by swiveling your hips side to side while you gently pedal your feet in place. It might help to relax your neck by shaking and nodding your head in different directions while spreading your fingers flat. Lift your shoulders back and rotate your outer upper arms towards the ground. Soften the back of your neck and lift your hips as high and far back as you can, stretching your spine. Firm your belly in towards it while pressing your chest back towards your shins. Feel free to bend your knees if that allows you more length in the lower back. As you sink your heels deeper and deeper towards the earth, press the front tops of your thigh bones back. Now let the movement dissolve as you steady your gaze on one spot, tuning into 3 full breaths. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, bend the knee towards the sky, rotate the thigh open at the hip. Keep pressing down through the hands. Inhale, tack your left outer hip back, soften the neck. And as you exhale, tap your right knee to the outside of your right upper arm. Softly step the foot forward onto the right side of your right hand into a lizard lunge. Set the left knee down, place your left hand on the floor or prop it up on a block if that feels more comfortable for your shoulders. Inhale, backstroke your right arm and look towards your rear wall. Exhale, sweep the right arm forward and down inside the right foot. That's it. Let's try that 4 more cycles of breath. Inhale, backstroke the right arm. Keep the right foot flat on the ground as you look behind you. Inhale, swim the right arm forward and down. So moving twist. Inhale, backstroke, rotate the rib cage to the right, turn your head. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, backstroke, tack the right hip back, draw the left shoulder blade down the back, away from the ear. Exhale, forward and down. Last time. Inhale, full stroke of the arm, twisting the rib cage, turning the rib cage. Exhale, forward and down. Now, you may want to have a block for each hand as you keep the hands on the inside of the right leg. Lift the ball of your right foot and flex the foot. Spread the toes back towards the shin. Inhale here, sinking your hips, look up in your kneeling lizard lunge. And then as you exhale, draw your right hip back and to whatever degree comfortable, straighten your right leg as you reach your chest forward, bowing to the inside of the right leg. Let's try that 4 more times. Inhale, set the right foot down, look up, kneeling lizard lunge. Exhale, pull the right hip back, reach your chest forward in this wide version of half split. Inhale, kneeling, lizard lunge. Exhale, wide, half split. One more time, inhale, kneeling, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Now from here, sit the right foot down, plant your hands on the ground, and step back into downward facing duck. Roll your triceps towards the earth from the belly in, and inhale, glide forward into plank pose. Top of a push-up, you can set the knees down for added support if you like. Exhale, shift forward, graze your elbows by your ribs. Lower from chaturanga slowly all the way down. Firm down the tops of your feet, hug the elbows to your ribs, and inhale, peel the shoulders gently back into cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Exhaling, tuck your toes, engage your belly and press up to plank. Then lift your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, fully feel the very top of that breath. Take just a slow to empty it. Press down evenly through both hands. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Now as you exhale, bend the knee and externally rotate your left thigh bone at the hip. Stay here, inhale, tack your right hip back, relax the neck. As you exhale, tap your left knee to the outside of your left upper arm and plank. Then softly step the foot forward to the left side of your left hand and lower your right knee. Sit the right hand down on the floor or on a block and keep the left foot flat on the ground as you inhale, backstroke your left arm and twist to your left. Drop both shoulders down the back as you look behind you. Exhale, swim the left arm overhead and forward, back down. 4 more breaths. Inhale, up and back, twisting at your waistline. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, backstroke. Exhale, down. So as you're twisting, draw your navel towards the spine, support the lower back in the twist. Turn the rib cage. And exhale, forward and down. 1 more. Inhale, backstroke, release the shoulders away from your neck. Look behind you. Exhale, forward and down. Now you might want to prop your hands both on blocks as we enter the flow that includes a half split with the left foot on the outside of the hands. So lift the ball of your left foot flex. Stay in the kneeling lunge, sink the hips, draw the shoulders down as you inhale, look up. Exhale, begin to straighten the left leg to your capacity. Draw the left hip back, extend your chest forward and bow to the inside of your left leg. Half split. Inhale, kneeling, lizard lunge. As you exhale to half split, plug the left thigh bone back deeper into the hip socket and feel the contrast of reaching your heart forward. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split. This time, inhale, lizard lunge, and step your right foot forward. Top of the mat, bend your knees, parallel the feet, and fold in. Heel toe the feet about hips distance apart. Press your fingertips either on your thighs, your shins, blocks in front of your feet, or the ground. And engage your abdomen. Tilt your weight as far forward as you can balance. And as you press with your hands, inhale, stretch the crown of your head forward, lengthening your spine into half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, slowly rise up to stand, sweeping the arms overhead. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Draw the shoulders down and exhale, side bend to the right, hugging your front ribs in towards your back. Inhale, rise up to center. Keep your hip bones facing forward and exhale, twist to the left. So just turn the rib cage, don't turn the hips, and open your arms wide apart as you slide the shoulders down. Maybe look behind you. Inhale, arms up and center. Hold your right wrist with your left hand. Relax the shoulders and exhale, side bend to your left. Hug the front ribs in. Inhale, rise up to center. Keep the hips facing forward and across your waistline, twist to the right. As you exhale, open the arms apart and draw the shoulders down your back. Let's try the sequence one more time. Inhale, center. Hold the left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, up to center. Draw the navel in, keep the hips still. Exhale, turn your rib cage to the left. Open arm twist. Inhale, arms up. Hold your right wrist. Exhale, twist or side bend, to the left. Inhale up to center. And then exhale, join your hands in prayer at your heart. I've just added a extra side bend, but that's okay. Let's take a breath here and we'll flow through sun salutation C, Surya Namaskar C. Come back to your intention. And remember that we're offering gratitude to the sun and gratitude to the source within. So let that reflect in how you're moving to your breath. Here we go. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead and roll your shoulders gently back and down as you lift your heart towards the sun. Exhale, join your hands in prayer, bow forward. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge. Look up. As you hold your breath, step into plank pose, top of a push-up. As you exhale, slowly lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin. Ashtangasana. As you inhale, slither forward onto your belly, ground the feet and coil your chest up. Cobra. As you exhale, tuck your toes from the belly, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. From down to your feet, inhale, rise to the length of the breath. Exhale, blessing from the crown to your heart center. Last one, second side, inhale. Sweep your arms towards the open sky above. Thank you, sun. Exhale, bow towards Mother Earth below. Plant the fingertips, inhale, step, right knee back, gaze up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide forward, entering cobra. Draw the shoulders back. Root down to the feet. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Press to your feet. Inhale, rise all the way, gently coiling your chest up. Exhale, unite your palms together at your heart. Let's turn to face the wide width of your mat and take a wide stance from both hips. Turn out both legs, turn out both feet. Make sure that you're safely aligning your knees so that the middle of your kneecaps are pointing out in the same amount as the middle toes beneath them, while you bend your knees just above the ankles. You might rock a little side to side, use your hands to gently splay open the inner thighs, slightly lift your frontal hip bones so that you're slightly engaging the belly and lengthening the lower back rather than tilting the tailbone far back. And then with your hands pressing into your inner thighs to continue splaying them apart, sink your hips, breathe in and lift through your crown. Exhale, twist to your left, dipping your right shoulder forward. I'm not mirroring you here. And look over your left shoulder. Keep splaying the thighs apart. Inhale to center in your wide-legged squat. Press the inner left thigh and exhale, twist to your right, look up. Let's try that a couple more times. Inhale, center. Keep the thighs splayed open. Exhale, twist. Remember to twist at your waistline. Inhale, center. Slow the breath down. Exhale, twist. Last one in each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And come all the way up to stand. Take your blocks and let's stand at the top of your mat. This is going to get more into our hamstrings and the calves, this cross-legged forward fold. So step your right foot forward and across your left foot so it lands on the left side. Bend your left knee slightly and place the blocks in front of you. If the blocks feel like too low and you're rounding your back, use something that's higher, a bed, a chair, a table. And then as you press your fingertips into your props, tilt your weight forward, keep a slight bend in the left knee, and draw the crown of your head forward. Lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders back, firm in the belly. And slightly engage your quadriceps, that's the front muscles of your thighs, without locking the knees. And then little by little, hinge forward from the hips, just finding the amount that allows you to feel some kind of opening without straining. You never want to force anything that feels painful. Sometimes when we're moving through a posture in depth, we might feel some discomfort. And sometimes it's necessary to go through that. But know the difference when that discomfort is actually pain and potential injury, right? You never want to force anything. That's why we're taking everything slowly and breathing deeply, because the breath is powerful in helping to relax the body and feel safe to maybe go deeper if needed. So we're here for about 4 more deep breaths. Tune in. Let your head hang freely. Feel the bone at the bottom of your skull, at the back of your neck. Relax in that area of your occipital ridge. Soften your jaw, relax behind your ears, relax your tongue, maybe even flutter the lips if that helps to relax the jaw consciously. Now, have the blocks or the prop as high as you need so you can press into them, and inhale, lengthen forward, step the right foot to the right side, and then cross the left foot in front of the right and out to the right. Bend your right knee slightly, elongate the spine, firm the belly in, shoulders back, breathe in. And then little by little, breath by breath, hinge from your hips, keeping a long spine. If your back or shoulders start to cringe or round, that's your body saying, I don't need to go that far. So if that starts to happen, back off and only go to the degree where you can feel that you're not cringing the shoulders, you're not rounding the back, which rounding back starts to pull on the glutes and hamstrings, and it can cause problems there. So you want to find that degree of entering this posture that is safe for your unique body. Remember, ultimately, you are in charge of your body and responsible for how you are approaching the physical poses. So let's tune in for another 4 deep breaths. And there's a lot of freedom in that too, in that responsibility. It builds trust in the intelligence of your own body. Now place your hands on the props at their tallest height that allows you to support yourself as you inhale, lengthen your spine forward again. Now step the feet apart and come down to the ground on your knees. All right, we're gonna get ready for some hip opening postures. Let's start on our back. Come on down to the floor. Begin our yin part of the practice here. So that was pretty much yin already. So as you set your feet on the ground, start there. Feet hips width apart, parallel to each other. Turn out your right thigh at the hip and flex your right foot as you cross your right ankle over your left thigh like a figure four shape. Now keep this figure four shape, and with your right hand, press gently into the part of your right thigh that's close to your hip, not your knee, but close to your hip. And splay the right thigh gently open as you ground the back of your left hip, left foot, and shoulders. Slow inhalation. Exhale. Notice what you're feeling here along the right side of your hips and lower back. Sense if your body is asking you to stay in this version of this hip opening pose. Otherwise, you might add on into thread the needle, in which you lift the left foot, thread the right hand between your thighs, and with two hands, maybe holding a strap between the two hands if that's helpful, hold the back of your left thigh or the front of your left shin, whatever allows you to keep resting your head and shoulders down. And gently begin to hug the left leg closer to you while you continue to splay open the right thigh. So see that your right knee is pointing towards your right wall. It's not pointing towards your chest. If it is pointing towards your chest, you might back off a little. It might be more useful for you to keep the left foot on the ground so you can continue to point the right knee to the right and really find that external rotation of the right leg. Either way, keep flexing your right foot, which in turn flexes the muscles around the right knee to stabilize it. And let's listen to about 4 more slow breaths. Now set your left foot back onto the ground if you lifted the leg, and keep the same figure four shape in your legs. Keeping that shape, slowly drop your left knee to your left side. Try to keep the right shoulder on the ground. If it starts to rise up, you might catch the outer left thigh with your pillow or your blocks or blanket. Let the right sole of your right foot step down onto the ground or onto the props. Make sure the right shoulder is still on the ground. And now with your left palm, again, find that same area of your inner right thigh close to the hip you were pressing away, and continue to gently press that forward towards the front of your mat. Notice what you're feeling here. Slow the breath down. And as you do, let the breath bring a feeling of safety and calm to your mind and body. Sense any sensations that might be changing or shifting here. 4 more breaths. Again, keep the shape of your legs and roll onto your back. Now slide your right thigh as much as you can to hug the left thigh. Lift your feet off the ground, keep your pelvis on the floor, and splay your feet away from each other. And with your hands, take hold of your outer feet if that's not reachable. Take your outer shins. If that's not reachable, take the backs of your thighs, or use a strap as an extension of your hands. While grounding your shoulders, head, and pelvis, see if you're able to bring your thighs closer to your belly while splaying your feet away from each other. Notice what you're feeling here. Listen to about 8 more deep breaths. This is a supine version of cow face pose, inviting space across the lower back, the glutes, the outer hips and thighs. Notice where you're feeling this the most. Bring a caring attention there. And now uncross the legs and stretch them forward on the ground. Allow a moment to just be still. 3 deep breaths in stillness. Notice what you notice as you're still here. Then please bend both knees and step your feet on the ground, hips distance apart. Turn out your left thigh at the hip, and while flexing your left foot, cross your left ankle onto your right thigh, figure 4 shape. Keep your right foot on the ground, and with your left palm, find the area of your inner left thigh close to your hip. Gently press into your thigh to encourage it to splay open while you ground the back of your right hip and shoulders. Tune into a few deep breaths. Notice how this side of your hips and lower back feels. As you really pay attention to how your body is speaking to you, use your wise discernment of where to take this next. Maybe you stay here longer. Maybe you start to thread the needle slowly, threading left hand between your thighs, and maybe using a strap or holding with both hands the back of your right thigh or the front of your right shin. And while you bring your right leg closer to you, gently splay your left thigh open. See that your left knee is pointing at your left wall. It's not pointing at your chest, at you. If it is doing that, back off a little. Maybe you go back to the first version of this pose. Now let's feel and listen to 4 more deep breaths. So in the beginning, I talked about wholeheartedly taking care of yourself. And part of what I mean about that is immersing yourself, being fully present here. And being honest with what you're noticing and how you're responding. Now keep the shape of the figure 4 in your legs. Keep flexing the left foot and set your right foot back on the ground. Keep your left shoulder on the floor. If it helps to do that, you can splay the left arm wide and begin to drop your right knee slowly to your right side. Remember, if your left shoulder starts to rise up, you can use any of your props creatively to catch your outer right thigh so that you don't go as far as it lifts the left shoulder. Let the sole of your left foot step down onto a surface, whether it's the ground or your props. And then with your right palm, find that same area of your inner left thigh close to the hip to gently press away from your belly. Sense the breath, keeping that same even rhythm. Notice the sensations in your body here. Four more deep breaths. And then keep the shape in your legs. Lift the right knee up again. Set the right foot on the ground. Then slide your left thigh closer to the right thigh so you're hugging the midline of your body with your two thighs. Then lift your feet. Splay your feet apart. And with your hands, catch hold of your outer feet. If not, your outer shins. If not, backs of your thighs. You could even use a strap between the hands. Ground your pelvis, head and shoulders, and to your degree, begin to splay the feet wider apart as you hug your thighs closer to your belly. Slow breath in. Feel the very top of that. And listen to the exhale like the sound of ocean waves gently rising and falling. 8 more breaths. And then unwind the legs, straighten them onto the floor, relax the arms down and pause for a brief corpse pose. 3 deep breaths. Pay attention to what you notice. Now please take your strap, bend your right knee into your chest. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap, whether it's the loop or the center, it doesn't matter. Hold the strap with 2 hands and kick it away with your right foot extending towards the sky. Flex both of your feet and square your hips to face the sky so you're not turning out any of your legs. Give yourself enough slack with a strap so your shoulders are grounded and down away from the neck. And then just take a moment to pull the strap downward. You're not bringing the right leg towards you. Keep the right leg vertical, totally upright. Now, hold the strap with just your right hand as you're pulling it down. What we're doing is the top of your right thigh bone is going deeper into the hip socket, like a nail being hammered deeper into the ground. So keep doing that. And then bring your attention to your right outer hip. Actually, you can hold the strap with the left hand, so you can use your right hand here. Use your right hand to take hold of your right outer hip and press it towards the front of your mat as you pull the strap down. So right outer hip, draw it towards the front of the mat. Now keep doing that. And now again, hold the strap in your right hand. Just imagine you have a third hand drawing the right outer hip forward. And with your left hand, press it into your inner left thigh, right close to your hip socket, and spin your inner left thigh towards the ground. It's like you're sickling your left foot, but you're not doing it from the ankle. You're doing it from the thigh bone at the hip. So keep rolling the inner left thigh towards the ground. Press the insteps of your feet forward away from you. And continue to draw the right outer hip forward as you pull the strap down, drawing the right thigh bone deeper into the hip socket. Last few breaths here. So these are more very subtle actions, more internal, energetic actions that we use to create space in the lower back. And then now, let's start to bring the right leg closer. Keep squaring your hips or paralleling your feet. Relax your head and shoulders down and bend the elbows apart as you bring the right leg in. Keep flexing both feet. Engage the front muscle of your right thigh. Flex the quadricep without locking your right knee. And if your hamstring feels really resistant, you could bend your left knee a little bit. Try to keep your right leg straight though. Just a few more breaths here. You might also feel this as the more you flex the right foot and even use the strap to pull the toes towards the right shin, the more you might feel a stretch in your calf as well as your hamstring and your glutes. 2 more deep breaths. Now release the strap, and as you lower the right leg, circle out your feet. Give them some relief after all that flexing. Inhale into your stomach deeply. Open your mouth and eyes wide and stick out your tongue. Let out any sound that feels releasing. One more lion's breath like that. Deep inhalation, fill up. Open the mouth, let it go. Now let's bend the left knee into the chest. Step the ball of your left foot into the strap. Kick it away towards the ceiling with the left leg vertical. Just keep the left leg vertical, not moving it towards you. Hold the strap with 2 hands, and as you flex both feet again, pull the strap downward. So what you're doing is drawing the top of your left thigh bone down into the earth, deeper into the hip socket. Engage the belly slightly so you don't want to overarch the lower back. And as you do that, use your left hand to press your left outer hip. I like to hook the thumb into the crease of the hip forward towards the front edge of the mat. So left outer hip, roll it forward, pull the strap down, breathe, while at the same time, you spin the inseam of your right thigh towards the floor. Inseam of the right thigh towards the floor, internal rotation. A few more deep breaths here. One more deep breath. Now let's hold the strap with 2 hands and begin to bring the left leg towards you slowly. Engage the left quadricep without locking the knee. If you're looking for a bit more calf stretch, place the strap towards at the ball of your left foot towards the toes. You can use the strap to pull the toes towards the shin a bit more. Keep squaring your hips, not turning out the legs. And if your left hamstring is feeling really resistant, you could bend the right knee slightly. A few more deep breaths here. One more deep breath. Release the legs straight and circle out your feet or point your toes. Do something opposite for a few breaths. Let's stay lying down in a restorative pose as we practice a cooling, grounding pranayama into corpse pose. So I invite you to set up any way that your body's asking for support in. For example, if you're looking to open up the fronts of the shoulders a bit, you could place one block at the back of the mat for your head, medium height, one block, medium height closer to you that you'll rest the bottom tips of the shoulder blades onto and drop the shoulders into the space between. If you're looking to open the hips some more, you can take Supta Baddha Konasana, where you drop the bent knees apart and bring the soles of your feet together, maybe using your blanket and pillow to support your outer thighs from underneath. If you're looking to stretch the lower back wide across the sacrum, do the opposite. Keep the knees bent, step your feet on the ground, wider apart than hips distance, and drop your knees together to touch. That will help open across the lower back. Now, whatever you're choosing, take a moment to adjust anything that feels even slightly uncomfortable and invite symmetry, balance of the left and right sides of your body. Let the shoulders release down and back so you have space in your neck, throat is open, palms resting, face up, slightly away from your sides, and maybe bring the thumb and first fingers to touch to help tune inward. You might close the eyes. So the breathing technique I invite you to practice is 3-part breathing, Durga Pranayama. First, visualize that your torso is divided into 3 cross sections. The top of your torso is at the top of your neck. The bottom of your torso is at the bottom of your pelvis. The first or top cross section, the lowest cross section, which is number 1, is from your pelvic floor to your belly button. So that encompasses your lower belly and lower back. The second or middle cross section encompasses much of your rib cage all the way around. The third or the top cross section encompasses your chest, shoulders, upper back, and neck. So we're going to inhale first 1/3 of the breath into the lowest part of your torso. Then we'll pause. We'll inhale again another third into the middle part of your torso. Then we'll pause. We'll inhale the last third to the top of your torso, and we'll hold the breath while relaxing the body. Then through the nose, we'll slowly empty the breath and hold it at the bottom. That's one cycle of 3-part breathing. Let's practice 2 cycles together and 2 cycles on your own. Durga Pranayama. Prepare to begin by emptying this breath. Into the lowest part of your torso, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the middle of your torso, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the top of your torso, inhale the last third. Hold the breath, relax your body. Through your nose, slowly empty the breath. Hold the breath out. Last one together. Inhale, lowest part of the torso. Pause. Inhale, middle. Pause. Inhale, top. Hold. Exhale slowly. Hold. On your own, continue 2 more cycles. When you finish, let go of controlling your breath. As you relax, notice what you're feeling now. We now transition into Shavasana. So if you prefer to lie flat on the ground, slowly and gently lower your body. Gift yourself your loving presence. Start to come back to your physical body as you lie still. Sense how your body feels. Start by moving something very subtly. Ease into gentle stretch. Very slowly turning over onto your right side and resting your head. Allow a few moments there to observe your breathing just as it is. Sensing your energy right now. Does it feel any different? Begin to lift your body up. Please find a comfortable way to sit for a guided 10 minutes of meditation. Take the time to place your body in a position that allows you to sit tall, feel grounded, open, and relaxed. During this meditation, you might close your eyes to help tune inward, or you might cast a gentle, downcast gaze. Placing your hands in a mudra brings intentionality into your focus as well, just like a yoga pose does. One mudra for cultivating evenness in mind is stacking the palms face up on your lap with your thumb tips touching. Let's begin. I invite you into a mindfulness meditation practice where we begin by choosing an anchor for your mind, an object of focus in which you can gently rest your awareness on and come back to anytime your attention wanders. For some, that might be a place in your body in which you can easily feel the natural breath. For others, it might be a sound that you hear continuously in your background, such as the air conditioner or fan. For others, it might be a chakra in the body you'd like to focus on. Resting your inner gaze there and visualizing the color vibration of the chakra. Choose your object of focus, and for the next 2 minutes, practice resting your attention there with the same easefulness that you regulate your breathing and enter your postures. as you continue to bring your attention back to your object of focus when your attention wanders. Cultivate a friendly attitude towards yourself. No need for self-criticism. Just be kind to yourself in bringing your attention back. In the next 3 minutes, as you rest your awareness on your object of focus, in the background, I'd like you to observe the sounds that are happening far away, nearby, coming, going, lingering. I invite an attitude of just carrying curiosity. If you notice that you try to reach for a sound and try to hear it better, just smile inward that you notice and rest back on your object of focus. Similarly, if you try to avoid or push away a sound, smile within and come back to your object. Let's start the 3 minutes observing all sounds. What did you notice? Coming back to your object of focus again and again, gently and friendly. I invite you in the last 3 minutes of this practice to bring that same neutral observation to your thoughts, where your attention goes. Simply noticing a thought as it arises, as if it were a sound, just a neutral event. If you start to become invested in the thought or identify with the thought, you can feel that in your body. Soon as you notice, smile within and kindly come back to your object of focus. Let's try that for 3 minutes, observing your thoughts. Notice how you're feeling right now mentally, emotionally. It's so important to be kind to ourselves, not to judge our meditation practice, especially if we feel like our mind was scattered. That is all part of practicing. Remember that the fact that you showed up is the most important part. You show up and you put your whole heart into the present. And then we let go. So let's bring our practice to close. Calling on something you'd like to offer appreciation for. And reconnecting with your intention for showing up today. And remembering to whom you dedicated this practice. Sharing the energy and benefits of what we've cultivated within ourselves in this practice of conscious self-care. Let's send them out through the vibration of our voice, chanting Om 3 times and feeling that resonance within as well. Bowing in, recognize the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.